from Inside AV. Records are back. Oh yes they are, and in a big way. Well, really not that big, but they're back nonetheless. And a lot of talk about how you might look after them, play them, get the best sound from them. We're here to help. Actually, we're here to correct some of the information that's out there. And when I say correct, I'm not the guru, but I have been playing records for a long time, since I was shorter than this bench. And the story was never touch a record with anything other than the stylus. That seems to be very out of fashion now. Now we've got all sorts of fancy cleaners. Personally, I think originally we had two cleaners back in the day, and there was a couple of others, but they were conceptually similar. The round brush like that, and of course the twin row carbon fibre brush. Both are still around, although I don't know where you buy one of these. You certainly don't buy a dishwasher D4, but you can buy these. We sell them, and so does everyone in the rest of the world. So that's what is usually written on the side of them. That's what the Chinese factory puts on them when they make them. So these are the dead easiest things in the world to use. But I'm not going to show you how to clean a record just yet, because the only thing that really matters that it's clean is the stylus. The stylus is the thing that really cleans the record. So let's clean the stylus, and this is easy. Here's a modern day interpretation. Oh, Keith, you're jumping away from my brushes. Same brand. I don't know whatever happened to dishwasher. There was some cheap copies made, they were never any good. So there was that little pad of hairs pointing upwards, probably 1,200 of them or something, maybe more. Same thing again, much smaller scale and readily available. Can't buy dishwashers, can buy these. This is how it works. It couldn't be easier. Two things though, make sure your arms clip down, which I just did. Make sure your volume is turned down. These things make a loud noise when they're amplified through your cartridge. And that's what you do. And it's done. How often should you do that? I would do it a lot. Probably every couple of sides. If the record is a second-hand record and it's a bit filthy, certainly clean it with your brush like this. So turn the old machine on. I'm going to use the power of the turntable to turn the disc, and I'll do this left-handed to make it easier for Keith to get the all-important, I was going to say money shot, but it's not really, is it? It just goes like this, and you can sort of do that, and the second row picks up some crud, and then flick the crud off with the crud flicker, otherwise known as the holder. Don't do it next to the record, actually. It just flies back on. Okay, let's do it one more time. Just roll it back. So you'll probably find it leaves a line of dust across the record in some cases. In which case, do it some more. Front row, both rows, back row, and off. I've seen a few people move the brush across onto the label and apparently short it out for static to the thing that pokes up in the middle, otherwise known as a
spindle.
Oh yeah, that'll work. What? First thing, it won't work on a Riga RP1 because the shaft's, at least the spindle bit's, the shaft's metal of course, but the spindle's plastic. Plastic not being overly conductive. Now you will see there's a big pile of crud still sitting there on the record. That is very rare. This is a second-hand record I bought recently. I've never played it. I pulled it out to use it for this demonstration, and sure enough it's disgusting. This is where you probably need the big guns. And you'll need your finger to give it a bit of extra torque. Voila, it's gone. Sorry about that. It means you need almost two brushes, as we always did. The carbon fibre brush is for getting light lint off. The bigger, heavier duty brush for getting ground in gunk off. And it doesn't do a great job. Which brings us to, should you wash your records under the tap, use a damp cloth, put them in the dishwasher or dishwasher? No. Should you use isopropyl alcohol? People do. It doesn't feel right to me. I would certainly not put them on my records, because this record, even though it's got a bit of gunk on it, I don't think that you're going to very easily get that off. That record was pressed in 1977, I think it was. It's not Marion Faithfull, it's Joan Armour Trading. That crud's possibly been there for 30 years. I don't think it's coming off very easily. You will probably do more damage to the record then you will improve it by trying to separate ground in eggs and bacon or whatever is on there. I don't know, anyhow. So, handy hints summarise as follows. Clean the stylus regularly. Clean it with a basic cleaner, dry cleaner. I don't believe you should put any fluid on the stylus. You know, hopefully you don't need to if you clean it regularly enough. And that way you've got a clean stylus for maximum sound quality, tracking your record, and at the same time cleaning your record. Play your records more, they might be cleaner. We'll be back with more handy hints in another episode of Playing Records.